Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Drunken Rant Uncensored. I'm Liam, your oh-so-charming host.
Hey there, you sexy beasts.
And as always, I'm joined by the lovely Olivia.
Hey, guys.
Before we get too hammered,
Ooh, I'm already feeling a little tipsy.
make sure you smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
You won't want to miss out on the craziness we have in store for you tonight.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Speaking of tipsy, Olivia, what you sipping on tonight?
Oh, just a little Pinot Grigio. You know, to keep things classy.
Classy with a side of chaos. So tonight's episode is a wild one.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving deep into the history of a company you probably know for tires. Continental AG.
Continental.
Yeah, those black rubber things that keep your car from,
I love tires.
dragging its ass on the pavement.
Huh.
But hold on to your beers, folks, because Conti's story goes way beyond tires.
Oh, really?
We're talking juicy scandals,
Ooh.
historical drama, and maybe even a little bit of Nazi action. Olivia, you ready to get your history nerd on?
Oh, honey, I'm always ready for a history lesson.
Especially
when it involves booze and bad decisions.
atta girl. So let's rewind all the way back to 1871.
71.
Germany, baby. Bismarck's rocking that sweet mustache.
Oh, I love a good mustache.
And a little company called Continental Kautschuk und Gute Percha Company is born.
Say that 3 times fast.
Continental Kautschuk.
Continental Kautschuk, and I already forgot the rest. Huh.
Try saying that 3 times fast after a few shots.
No way.
Anyways, they started out making rubber products.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like, those old-timey rubber duckies and shit.
Oh, rubber duckies. I love those.
But Conti wasn't about to stay in the kiddie pool forever.
They had bigger fish to fry.
In 1898, they decided to get serious and started making vehicle tires.
Tires.
Now, you might be thinking, tires? Big whoop.
Well, yeah.
But back then, this was cutting-edge stuff. We're talking horse and buggy days.
Seriously.
And Conti was already paving the way for the automobile revolution.
Those were some cutting-edge tires back then.
Totally. And just a few years later, they invented grooved tires.
Groove tires.
You know those grooves you see on tires today? Yeah, those are kind of a big deal. Back then, tires were smooth.
Smooth tires.
Which meant, less grip, more slipping and sliding.
Like, how did people even function before grooved tires?
Right. It's like trying to walk on ice with socks on. But Conti wasn't done innovating.
They were just getting started.
In 1905, they came up with another brilliant idea.
Oh.
Detachable wheel tires.
Detachable.
Perfect for those fancy touring cars that were all the rage back then.
Wow.
It's like they knew we'd be all about that customization game even back then.
They were ahead of their time, that's for sure.
Now here's where things get a little murky.
Murky.
You know how some families have those dark secrets they try to sweep under the rug? Well, Conti's got a skeleton in their closet too.
Uh-oh.
And it's got a swastika on it.
A swastika.
Yep, we're talking about the Nazi era.
Oh, no, not the Nazis.
I know.
I swear, they always got to ruin everything.
Tell me about it. So, picture this. It's World War II.
World War II.
Germany's under Nazi rule.
Right.
And Conti, like many German companies at the time, finds themselves in a pretty compromising position.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had to play ball back then, or else,
Exactly.
like, what were they supposed to do?
And by playing ball, we mean, well, using slave labor provided by the Nazi regime.
Wait, seriously? Slave labor? That's messed up.
Messed up is an understatement, my friend.
No way.
We're talking about concentration camp prisoners forced to work in Conti's factories.
Seriously?
Specifically, we're talking about 3 factories in Hanover, Stecken, Limmer, and Ulm.
Stecken, Limmer, and Ulm.
All linked to the Neuengamme concentration camp.
That's horrifying.
I know, right? So did they ever, own up to it?
Yeah, like, did they ever apologize or anything?
Well, that's where things get even more complicated. See, acknowledging your company's involvement in Nazi atrocities isn't exactly great for business, right?
No, I guess not.
So instead of owning up to their past, Conti decided to, shall we say, downplay their Nazi-era activities.
Oh, and Clay.
They basically scrubbed their official company history clean, making it seem like the whole slave labor thing never happened.
Are you kidding me? That's messed up on so many levels.
I know, right?
That's like they're trying to erase history.
And to make matters worse, they conveniently omitted any mention of this Nazi propaganda magazine they published.
They had a magazine
called Echo Continental.
Echo Continental.
From their timeline.
Wait, a Nazi propaganda magazine? Seriously, what the hell?
I know, right? It's like they were trying to win most enthusiastic Nazi supporter award or something.
Oh my God.
So we've got Conti, this company that made its fortune off the backs of slave labor, trying to rewrite history and pretend like none of it ever happened.
That makes me want to boycott their tires.
Whoa there, Olivia. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
I get it. You're outraged.
I am.
And rightfully so.
Thank you.
But boycotting is a big decision.
I know.
Maybe we should hear a bit more about what Conti did after the war.
After the war.
Before we make any rash decisions.
Okay, you're right. I'm just really pissed off right now.
I hear you.
It's just messed up.
But think about it. It's been over 70 years since the war ended.
70 years.
Companies change.
I guess.
They evolve.
Maybe.
They hopefully learn from their mistakes.
Hopefully.
So let's fast forward a bit. What did Conti get up to after the whole Nazi debacle?
Well, I'm ready to hear about it. All right, I think I've recovered from that last margarita, mostly. My head's still spinning a little, but give me another one and I'll be good as new.
That's the spirit, Olivia. Always ready for another round. But before we dive back into the wild world of Continental...
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a quick break for our sponsors. Just kidding. We don't have any sponsors. We're just two drunk idiots ranting about tires and Nazis.
Hey, speak for yourself. I happen to be a very knowledgeable drunk idiot.
Okay, you're right. You're the brains of this operation. I'm just the pretty face.
Sure, Liam. Whatever you say.
But seriously, folks, if you're enjoying our drunken ramblings...
Which I know you are.
Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps us keep the lights on and the tequila flowing.
And trust me, you don't want to miss out on the tequila-fueled insights we're about to drop on you.
All right, where were we? Yes. Continental's post-war shenanigans. We were talking about how they went on a massive acquisition spree.
Oh, yeah.
Gobbling up companies like they were going out of style.
It's like they were trying to make up for lost time after that whole Nazi debacle.
Maybe. Or maybe they just had a serious case of corporate greed. Either way, they were on a roll.
They were unstoppable.
Expanding their empire and becoming a major force in the automotive industry.
And they weren't afraid to take risks?
No, they weren't.
Like that massive Siemens VDO acquisition we talked about? That was a huge gamble that almost backfired on them.
Yeah, they were playing with fire, but somehow they managed to pull it off.
I know, it's crazy.
But that doesn't mean they were immune to corporate drama. Remember that hospital takeover attempt by the Schaeffler Group? That was some real Succession level shit.
Oh my God, it was a wild ride. This mother and son duo.
I know.
Maria Elizabeth and George Schaeffler.
Such great names.
Basically swooped in and tried to snatch control of Continental right out from under their noses.
And the craziest part is that the guy who orchestrated the whole thing, Jürgen Geisinger, used to work for Continental. Talk about adding insult to injury.
It's like a corporate revenge story. And you know what's even more interesting?
What's that?
The Schaeffler Group is still the majority shareholder in Continental today.
So even though Continental survived the takeover attempt, they're still under the thumb of the Schaefflers. Talk about a long-lasting grudge.
It's like a corporate soap opera. But despite all the drama...
Like, seriously.
Continental has continued to thrive. They've expanded their operations globally, opening new plants in places like Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. That's where I want to be right now. Sipping margaritas on the beach, not talking about tires and corporate takeovers.
Oh, me too, Liam. Me too. But we've got a job to do. People are counting on us to deliver the drunken truth about Continental.
All right, you're right. Back to the grind. So we've talked about Continental's shady past.
Super shady.
Their aggressive growth strategy.
Uber aggressive.
And their near-death experience with the Schaeffler takeover.
So close.
But what about their present? What are they up to these days?
Well, they're still a major player in the tire industry, of course. They supply tires for everything from passenger cars to commercial trucks to race cars.
Well, they're still sponsoring the Tour de France, which means they're still getting their name out there in front of millions of people.
Exactly. They're a global brand with a huge reach. But they've also been expanding into other areas like automotive electronics and software.
So they're not just a tire company anymore. They're becoming a tech company, too.
That's right. They're investing heavily in research and development, trying to stay ahead of the curve in the rapidly changing automotive industry.
It's like they're trying to reinvent themselves, shedding their old skin and emerging as a new, sleeker, more technologically advanced...
Snake.
Yeah, a snake. A snake with a Nazi past and a taste for corporate takeovers.
Okay, that's a little creepy, Liam.
Sorry, too much tequila talking.
Okay.
But you get the point, right?
I think so.
Continental is constantly evolving, trying to stay relevant in a world that's moving faster than ever.
That's true. But it also raises some interesting questions.
Like what?
Can a company truly outrun its past? Can it reinvent itself and become something completely different?
Those are some deep questions, Olivia. Questions that probably require more tequila to answer properly.
Definitely.
Speaking of tequila, I think it's time for another round. What do you say, Olivia? Margarita number 2.
You read my mind, Liam. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this quick booze break.
All right, folks, we're back. Olivia, that margarita hit the spot. I'm feeling loose. I'm feeling chatty. I'm feeling ready to expose more of Continental's dirty laundry.
Easy there, Tiger. We still have a whole section to cover.
Right. You are my dear.
Where are we?
Ah, yes. Continental's quest for world domination, or at least domination of the automotive industry.
They've certainly made their mark. We've talked about their tires, their electronics, their software. They're practically everywhere.
It's like they've got their rubbery fingers in every pie.
And they've had a pretty significant presence in North America for decades. Remember we mentioned they bought General Tire from GenCorp back in 1987?
GenCorp. Sounds like some evil corporation from a Bond movie.
Maybe. But the point is that acquisition gave them a strong foothold in the American market. And they even sponsored a college football bowl game for a while, the Continental Tire Bowl.
A football bowl game?
Yeah.
Seriously. That's like the most American thing ever.
Yep. It was held in Charlotte, North Carolina. Virginia won the first 2, and then Boston College took the trophy in the third and final game. After that, it became the Meineke Car Care Bowl.
Meineke. As in the muffler, guys. Talk about a downgrade. From tires to mufflers. What's next? Continental Toilet Bowl, sponsored by Charmin.
Okay, that's enough potty humor, Liam.
Sorry, tequila brain strikes again.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of America, didn't Continental have some labor issues over there?
They did. Back in 2006, they tried to cut healthcare benefits for retirees, which sparked a huge backlash and a class action lawsuit.
Trying to screw over retirees, that's a bold move, Conti. Not exactly a good look.
They eventually settled with the United Steelworkers Union and agreed to keep funding the benefits. But they also closed tire production plants in Charlotte and Mayfield, Kentucky, which led to hundreds of job losses.
Damn, Conti's starting to sound like a real villain in this story. Nazi collaboration, corporate takeovers, benefit cuts, layoffs. Are we sure they're not secretly run by Lex Luthor?
Okay, enough with the comic book villains.
Fine. But seriously, Conti's got a lot to answer for. And let's not forget about their most recent controversy, their decision to resume tire production in Russia after the invasion of Ukraine.
That was a major PR disaster. While the rest of the world was imposing sanctions on Russia, Conti was like, hey, let's go make some money off this war.
It's like they have a knack for making the wrong decision at the worst possible time.
Maybe they just really love tires and profits.
Now, what's the takeaway here, Olivia? Continental Company built on innovation and ambition, but also tainted by a history of questionable choices and controversies.
It's a complex story, that's for sure. And it raises a lot of questions about corporate responsibility ethics and the long shadow of history.
Can a company truly escape its past? Can it atone for its sins? Or will those sins always be lurking in the background, waiting to be exposed?
I don't have the answers, Liam, but I think it's important to keep asking these questions, to hold companies accountable for their actions, both past and present.
Well said, Olivia, well said. So what do you say, folks? Can you separate a company's products from its history? Do you care where your tires come from? Hit us up in the comments and let us know your thoughts. And hey, while you're at it, why not hit that subscribe button? We'd really appreciate the support. And if you enjoyed this drunken deep dive, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Until next time, stay thirsty, stay curious, and stay uncensored.
Bottoms up.